Ball's brought in from the back. Up to the right-hand shooter for GB, who switched the ball across. Shot goes in, Swiss catch cleanly. One pass used, second pass used, got to shoot now on the Swiss side. Ball shot high. Unfortunately, GB third line can't get to it. GB unfortunately have left a lot of their players back. GB start with the ball. Ball sent into centre pivot. Centre pivot brings the ball back to the left-hand side, who switch across to the right-hand side, and the shot's attempted, but unfortunately rattles off the side of the metal and goes straight short. Point to Switzerland, and GB ball at the back. Current score 11-10 GB. GB bring the ball in at the back. The ball's taken straight up the other end. Foot on line call by the referee. Unfortunately, pass was a little bit too close to the D. Swiss take the ball. Send the ball down to their centre pivot, who sends the ball straight back up the same end, right-hand side. Switch the ball nicely. Ooh, unlucky. Unfortunately, Swiss shoot short, and now they start with the ball at the back. Ball comes into the centre pivot, down to the left-hand side, who sends it back to the centre pivot, back to the right-hand side, got to shoot. GB line set, but caught cleanly by Charlie Vanner. Ball's fed up the other end. Nice controlled pass across now for a straightforward shot. Shot and point scored. Swiss sitting a long way off the line there, they could tighten up. And Swiss bring the ball in from the back, send it down to left-hand side, where the ball switched across, and then shot from the right-hand side, shot high, one pass used, but ball retained by GB. Ball shot, but caught cleanly second line. Excellent second line by the Swiss defence. Ball's passed up the court, passed across on a switch, and the ball's shot. And Philly Rumbold does very well there, but the ball caught cleanly by the Swiss. Passed down to the left-hand side where the ball is shot, but unfortunately frame called by the referee. The GB team get a breakdown on the far right-hand side. GB take the breakdown, pass it into centre pivot, and back down to Lou Watmore on the right-hand side, who switches the ball. The shot comes in, and unfortunately, Swiss defence possibly a little too close together there and affect each other in catching the ball. Swiss bring the ball in from the back, passed out to the left-hand side, who had switched quickly. Slingshot goes in, caught cleanly, and GB was catching the ball. They do a quick shoot back, but the ball is shot short, gives a point straight to the Swiss. Oh no, referee's called foot on line. Switzerland have the ball, pass down to centre pivot and out to right-hand side. Unfortunately, the ball's a little bit too wide and goes to ground. GB start with a breakdown to the ball and pass the ball up to centre pivot. Centre pivot passes the ball out to left-hand side, where the ball switched across to Lou Fountain, and foot on line called, unfortunately. Ball's taken quickly, quick switch, and a shot and point scored. GB defence are not unable to cover the ground there. Ball's brought in from the back to GB, who take their time and then pass the ball on its way through to the right-hand shooter. Back option ball out and straight up to the left-hand side where the ball's shot and point scored. Right, Swiss start with the ball at the back. Ball comes in right the way down to the defender, who passes short pass out to Swiss, who shoot long, and GB players get in their own way. Point scored. Interesting shot. Nice and fast and low, whizzing out in the third line position. GB start with the ball and bring the ball in. Centre pivot. Centre pivot brings the ball back to the same end left-hand side, who switch across to the right, and the ball is shot right, caught cleanly by the Swiss defenders, who pass it out left into pivot, and that would be that's all three passes used. Swiss put the ball down. GB take the breakdown to the right-hand side, who landing called. The ball was shot in a skim position, but landing called, unfortunately. Switzerland take the ball is shot, the third line, second and third line aware of it, and expecting the high ball. Down to right-hand side where the ball's slip-shotted round, but caught cleanly by the Swiss. Swiss switch the ball and then switch ends up to the right-hand side. Unfortunately, ball gets away. GB start with the ball now, Pippa Rumbold takes the break down and passes the ball down to centre pivot. Centre pivot down to right hand side, where the ball is switched across to the left, and a skim shot's put in, but goes out of court and short given. Point to Switzerland. Oh, landing called. Swiss take the ball, pass it up to the defender, who does well to retain the ball, passes it out to the right hand side, and the ball is cleanly shot through a big gap in GB defence. Excellent shot, nice movement of the ball. GB start the ball with 45 seconds to go in the first third, and the ball's returned to the same end. Hannah Norman switches across to Lou Fountain, who shoots, but frame ball given. Swiss take the ball down to defender across to the right hand side, who switches the ball very cleanly, and the ball is shot and retained by Lou Watmore. Lou Watmore shoots, but there's 3 defenders crowded round where the ball is going to go, who flip the ball out at the other end. Right hand shots played but caught cleanly by Hannah Norman, who passed the ball down across to Katie on the left hand side, who shoots, and the ball is caught cleanly front line. They Swiss switch the ball twice, and the ball is shot and points scored. GB all there, but the ball was a very good shot, nice and low, nice bit of speed, difficult to retain. End of first third.